Hi guys, this is the 5th video in our series of tutorials on the D-110 multi-timbral sound module. Now we've shown you how to write whatever timbres you want, your favorites, tones, into the timbre memory so that you can access them in a certain order. Now it remains for us to show you today how to change these from the keyboard so that you can play your keyboard and change the tones in your D-110 to whatever you want. Now the particular procedure that you use is going to depend on the type of keyboard that you're using, but in some way it will be related to the changing of registrations on your keyboard. When you change a registration on your keyboard, you should expect the registration to change in the D-110. That's the way it works, through the program change command of the MIDI. So we're going to have to do about several of these videos, one for each of the different types of keyboard you could possibly be using. We're going to start with the VR-09, the Roland VR-09. That's a popular choice. There are 3 settings that concern your program change numbers being transmitted from your MIDI output that you'll have to look at when dealing with the VR-09. The first setting is to make sure that program change numbers are enabled, and that's a one-time setting which you'll just do once. So you press the menu button and you select the MIDI. It's shown there because it remembers your last choice. If not, you just go down until you get to the MIDI, and then you press the enter key, and you move the arrow up and down arrow buttons until you reach send PC switch. See where it says there, MIDI send PC switch, and you turn it on. Just rotate the wheel to turn it on. So the send PC switch must be on. That's for a one-time setting for the entire unit. Then you can press exit and go back out. Now the VR-09 allows you to set the MIDI transmit channel, the MIDI control channel, and the program change number and bank number that's transmitted for every single registration button of the 100 registrations that are possible in the VR-09. So it's going to take a lot of work to set up your favorite, but this system allows for ultimate flexibility. What we have done is we've set 1, 2, 3, and 4, the first 4 registrations in bank 0, to program change number 1, program change number 2, program change number 3, and program change number 4. And we have also set the transmit channel to channel 1 for the upper and the control channel, because the control channel is the channel that is used to send out the program change numbers. So the channels are going to have to match, otherwise your playing will not be the same part that gets altered when you press the program change number. If you're playing part 1 and it's on channel 1, you want the program change number to come out on channel 1 along with your keyboard notes playing. So the notes playing will come out on upper. Note this thing allows for upper, lower, and split. But here we're only interested in playing a single part, which we've showed you how to set up in your D-110. So what we do now is we are going to carry you through an exercise to make registration 5, which will obviously be the 1 key in bank 1, or 2, bank 2 actually, because it starts at 1, the number starts at 1. But before that, we're just going to press these 4 numbers and show you how it changes on the D-110. On the D-110, we are seeing A11 there when we have pipe organ. It's playing a pipe organ. We press registration button 2, and notice it's gone to A12, which is the next one. Now we're playing a sax. We press registration 3, and we've gone to A13, and we're playing the touch piano. We press registration 4, which is which we've set up as a test, which is just a sine wave, and that plays the sine wave. So we see that we can use the program change number to change the timbres in part 1. Notice that part 1 is the only part that's playing by the block there on the 1 on the left side of your display. When shipped from the factory, your wonderful VR-09 has all of the registrations set identically to the default number. That means program channel number 1, bank 0, and MIDI output channel 4 for the upper part, and 16 for the control channel. So we have to change them individually. We've already changed 1 to 4, and we're now about to select bank 1, or rather bank 2, and registration 1. Alright, so there it says, let's just zoom it down so you can see in the display. There it says that we have registration 2-1, and it's named the world something or the other. And we want to really associate it, this particular registration number, which is bank 2 registration button 1, with the very next program change number in our D-110 module. So what we do is we press the menu button, which once again carries us to MIDI. Then we press the enter button, which is still on the PC send switch, so we have to move it up to the transmit channel. Let's start at the top. Transmit channel for the upper is set to 4 because they're all default 4. So we're doing part 1, so we come down to 1. And then we come down to the control channel, and we move that from 16 to 1. And then finally we come down here to the program change number, which, as I said, is 1 in the default for all of them. And we now want to set it for 5 because that's the next one in the sequence. There we go, we set it to 5. Now we can press exit and exit the MIDI mode, but it's not going to be saved in that registration button just so. In order to save it to that registration button, we're going to press the registration button that's lit, which is the current one, and hold it down till the display reads write registration to 1. Now all the information there is going to be the same in the registration except for what we have just changed. So we're not destroying our registration, we're just adding to it by the program number and the keyboard MIDI channel. So it says right here is the third. These three things, delete, space, and right, the three buttons that are lighted here. So we press this right one, so it writes it to registration 2-1, and it's done. You've got that sorted out. So now we want to see it in action. Well, there's two ways to see it in action. First, we look at our D-110, and we've just put registration 1-1, so we're back to our pipe organ A11 on our D-110. So now we want to press registration 2-1 because in the playing of our set, we are going to hit one of these bank and registration buttons, and we want our D-110 to switch to the next available voice which we have programmed, which should read IA15, IA15 in there, because we just set it to program change number 5. Okay, so now we're going to do that on our VR-09. So once again, we focus down on our VR-09 and we press the bank button. We press bank 2, and then we press the registration button 2-1. So we're now in bank 2-1 where we were before, as you can see, I have to always reduce the brightness so you can read the screen properly. Oh, sorry, we're in 2.2. So we just pressed the 1 button. Now we're back where we had programmed it there, because it was actually 2.1 that we were programming. And we look up here now on our D-110, and we realize that it is saying, in fact, that our timbre that's selected is IA15, electric piano. So essentially we've got the electric piano voice in the D-110 associated with that particular registration number on the keyboard. Now, it could get a little confusing after a while, and you may not remember what you've set them to. Well, the beauty about the system, and I just want to show you this last thing here on the VR-09, the beauty of the system is that once I switch into the MIDI mode, so I'm just going to select, I'm just going to here go back to bank 1, so I press the bank button, then I press the 1 button, and then I press 1. So I'm now back to the very first of my registrations. Okay, as you see 1-1 there, long division in the display. So now what I want to do now is I want to press my menu button, and I press enter here to enter the MIDI. Now notice it says MIDI program number, change number 1. Now if I leave it there on that particular option screen, whatever registration button I press, it will show, it will change to go to that registration. So as I press registration 2, it goes to 2, registration 3, it goes to 3, registration 4, it goes to 4. And of course other lights come on and go off depending on what I've got my registrations programmed to play on the actual VR-09 itself. But here I am on registration 4, as you can see, and it's showing program change number 4. So we can go on and press the buttons and make sure that we've got the right program change numbers programmed into your keyboard for all your registration buttons. Or alternatively, you could put it on another screen, another menu screen, like say the control channel number, and that'll just press through all the registrations to make sure that you've got the control number set to all the various things that you want it set to. So thanks for watching the Stephen Mendes channel, and we'll show you how to do this now with some other brands and models of keyboards. Thank you, and see you soon again.